How's everybody doing? That's awesome. That's awesome. So for those of you that don't know me, my name is Judson. I am Rusty's oldest son. So you might be kind of wondering why my dad's not doing this intro, and the reason is because he's not here. And I just wanted to take a couple minutes to explain that. Also, thank you for being here. I know a lot of you guys traveled a long way to come to this event. These events do change lives. If any of you guys have an opportunity to find a gentleman named Jared, his wife Laura, ask him how an event can change a life. He's somewhere in this room. I'm not exactly sure where he is, but I know his life was changed this past weekend at an event that he went to. My dad's always said in several of his presentations to never miss a meeting, never miss a big event. And to my knowledge, he has never missed a meeting, and he's never missed a big event, except for this one. And the reason for that is because his mother passed away about 2 days ago, and he had to fly to New Hampshire to go to her funeral. And a lot of the RVPs in this room kind of grew up in the business with Caroline, and she was a wonderful woman. And sorry. Thank you. So my grandmother was a nurse in World War II on a hospital boat. She was very proud of her service to our country, and she always said that she would have loved to have gone and made a career out of it. My grandfather Ralph and her, when they married, they started having children. Rusty was their oldest. That kind of kept her from going career in the Army. She was a stay-at-home mom for quite some time. After all the kids were kind of out of the house and out through college, she ran my dad's Primerica office for close to 20 years and finally retired from that and moved to New Hampshire to be with my Aunt Debbie, who was a nurse, I believe, of some sort of medical background, so that she could kind of take care of my grandmother. And then she kind of started going downhill a little bit about a year or two ago. 2 years ago, we had a chance to go to Boston for her 90th birthday. And the picture you see on the screen is actually Rusty and all of his children and grandchildren at that party. And that was the last time we really saw her as Caroline, where she was alert and knew who we were. Anyway, she loved her country, she loved her faith, and she loved you guys. She was all about this company. I'm going to read an excerpt out of her obituary. Caroline was known for her great sense of humor, infectious smile, and easy way with people. She had a deep love of both family and country and considered herself a very proud American. She was fiercely independent, hardworking, and throughout her life was very proud throughout her life of her cherished Catholic faith. She had a generous and loving heart, especially when it came to taking care of her family, and left this life very much like she lived it, with amazing grace, dignity, and a strong spirit. So that's why my father's not here tonight. So we're going to have a couple of the other leaders in the hierarchy, MC, speak, and help throughout the night. We appreciate your thoughts. We appreciate your prayers. If anybody wants information about the final arrangements, the funeral they're doing in New Hampshire today was basically a small family, very close immediate family funeral. The larger, more friends and family type of funeral is going to be held in Canton, Georgia on the 25th of July. Those who are local are welcome to come. The address is up on the screen. It starts at 11 a.m. It's at the church that we were basically raised in. My sister and my brothers or my sisters and brother were raised in. They're in lieu of flowers, she would rather have donations to the Wounded Warrior Project in the name of Private First Class Caroline M. Crossland. There's actually a direct link to make those donations to. It's too long and too fragmented for me to put it up on the screen. However, if you want to make that donation, simply send me an email or type me a text to that number and that email address, and I will get you the information to make that donation. So, our MC for the night is a gentleman that my father has always spoken so highly of, and he has been a very close friend of our family's. There is not a lot I can say about this guy that would not be just unbelievably special. I mean, he has gone on every trip. He's won almost every contest, and I know that my father considers him one of his closest lifelong friends. Jim Ney.
You know, for so many years, Ralph and Caroline graced our presence on these front rows. And for many of us, we grew up with them, as Judd said, and they were like a second set of parents or grandparents to many of us, and loved them like they were our own family. And unfortunately, as we get older, they do too. And so we'll never forget them. We're going to miss them forever. And so, having said that, I know Caroline wouldn't want anybody to be sad tonight, so we're going to get excited! Ralph and Caroline were the most energetic people in the world, and they're going to transfer this on to the many, many legacy of legends. Right, let's go! So, how many of you, or this is your first convention? Woo! Awesome. How many people were at a workshop today? Amazing speakers, right? Huh? It's so many great talent in this business. It's amazing. How many people think this building is a really, really big building, right? Oh my goodness, when I've been selling the event, I've been saying that just where they put the vendors is 7 football fields. And would anybody argue with that? Unbelievable, huh? Incredible for sure. So, so excited for tonight, and so for the next 2 days, excited for you. Congratulations for making the time and an effort and investment in your life to be at this event. Sure, there's going to be a lot of enthusiasm and hooting and hollering and frisbee throwing and all that stuff. And in the opening session, it's going to, well, I can't tell you everything, but it's going to be electric, okay? And more in one way, I promise you, it will be electric, okay? And so you will you'll never experience anything like what we're getting ready to experience on opening night. For many of you, this convention is really going to be about hope for you. That you need the hope, so because we've been busting it, and everybody, if they're fairly normal, they're thinking, "Am I good enough? Can I do this? Will it ever happen to me? Could I ever speak on stage? Isn't that what we all ask of each other when we're out there, right, getting started? And so this convention is going to be a message of hope for so many of you. You know, we had an amazing senior leadership meeting last night, and you know, John and Rick, left, and I'm telling you what, Peter and Glenn have stepped in, and we haven't missed a beat. I'm telling you, they lit the place up. It was amazing. And those of you that are senior leaders in the room that were in there, was that amazing or what? So I'd be prepared to get absolutely blown up in the opening and closing of the rest of this event. So it's really going to be unbelievable. One of the things they talked about was that where we're at right now is really unparalleled distribution and record-shattering momentum. And so if you can't feel that in the energy in the halls and in the meetings and everything else already, we're really experiencing that. And so from a company, you see on POL the things that's just blowing up, and the stuff that Glenn will probably share with you on opening night, and the numbers that are blowing through the roof. We're at such a great state. I'm so happy for those of you that are invested in your time and energy here, because forever you'll be able to share this with people, and you'll be able to take it back and say, I can't really explain it, but let me just go show you. And you'll be able to go take this energy and go do something really great with your life. And so forever you'll be able to say that you're a part of this great momentum that came out of this event. You know, our world is pretty messed up right now. There's so many stuff that just doesn't seem very American anymore. But as Glenn has said last night, he says, I kind of feel sorry for the rest of America, because they don't live in our bubble, do they? They live in a negative world, a fighting world, a world that's in conflict and grappling over things all the time. And so we live in this wonderful bubble of positive, you can do it, people hugging each other, laughing and excited and competing and getting after each other, right? So man, don't miss this thing. Enjoy every minute of your investment here. Enjoy this time. Appreciate this time. You ever thought about this? You ever thought about how great Primerica is for America? Have you ever thought about how great Primerica is for America? America needs Primerica. You know, not just the products and services, and we know they need those, but what America really wants and needs is our thinking and our way of life. That's what we all cherish. That's what everybody else wants, is our thinking and our and the way we live. America wants to have what we have. You know, Glenn's idea of the wall is really amazing. How many people have put something on the wall? Anybody made it to the wall yet? How many people have maybe put a wall in your own office? Anybody have a wall in your own office, right? Many of you have. And so when Glenn was saying last night, he was saying that man, he said, we've hit an emotional chord like you can't believe. He says, we can't believe the response. And so what you don't know, because maybe some of you just got here today, they had to go in there last night, overnight, and build an extension because it was absolutely already full of all of what you want, all of your why. Isn't that amazing? So I just encourage you, make sure that you get to the why wall, and put something up there. Because even if you didn't bring anything, they've got things ready for you there so you can do things, and put that on there. Be a part of this thing. Peter Snyder said it best last night when he said, in its simplest form, your why is what you're willing to fight for. What are you willing to fight for? And that's what goes on there, and that's what you should fight for every day. Let me prepare you a little bit for what you're going to witness the next couple days. I'm going to ask you to start thinking of how you can plan for explosive growth. How you can plan for explosive growth. See, it's easy to be entertained at Primerica. It's easy to come to here and be a conventioneer. It's easy to fight through the company store and find a t-shirt and a golf shirt and the latest brochure, or worry about where are we going to go eat. But what you need to be focused on is, as you take from all this, tonight's going to be fun and energizing, and we're recognizing all of you have done so much. But what we're saying is that in the core of the meetings, make sure that you're writing things down that can go home and double and triple your activity, which will double and triple your efficiency, which will double and triple your effectiveness and your profitability. Because that's really here to get financially independent. It's not just to be entertained. And so I don't challenge you, man, so go for that. Make sure you're writing something down. I'd ask you to be prepared for some unreasonable optimism throughout the next 2 days. Some unreasonable vision, some unreasonable energy, some unreasonable urgency. And when we leave together, some unreasonable unity. We have a nation to save. Would anybody agree with me on that? People are broke, need help. Had the great opportunity to spend Monday and Tuesday with Art and Angela Williams, our founders. And, they've left such an amazing legacy. The millions of lives that they've changed. I would guess to say that they've saved, millions of lives that they've changed. And now they're rebuild a city and employ 350 to 370 people. And so just changing lives in a different way. I asked Richard Church and Eric DeBell to give us a closeout message as we closed out from our group that was in the Highlands. And Eric DeBell had a great message that kind of concludes it all. And he said, greatness is a way of life. If there's one thing you take away from Art Williams, was greatness is a way of life. And so that's a challenge to all of us, is greatness is a way of life. It's not great for one quarter, great for this, not just great in numbers, but great in your family life. Rusty and all the Crossland family and, Ralph and Caroline, everybody, all these people are leaving great legacies. And I would challenge you to think about your legacy. But what part of this wave, what part of this momentum are you going to take in part of? It's just, we had this window of opportunity. It seems like every convention, there's always somebody's life that we celebrate that's no longer with us. And one of these days, that'll be you and me. And so the thing is that, so one of these things, like, what are we going to do? Your life, Mary and I were just 26 years old just the other day, and next year we'll be 60 years old. Man, your life goes by you so fast. So glad we made choices early on so we can be free in these years and not be worried about how we're going to go do things, how we're going to make things happen. Is this company going to lay me off? Is my 401k going to be enough? All those stuff that the rest of America thinks about. But I tell you what, one of the most amazing things that's a great part of Primerica and that a lot of us just experienced was the experience with the partnership meeting. Was that just amazing, huh? And we had one of our own. I think they were the only Crossland person in there, wasn't sure, but Ed and Yvonne Ortiz, they did a great job. Woo! So, Yvonne, I'm so glad you put up with him. Okay, so anyway, but one of the most amazing things is partnership, and the Lord blessed me with ability to marry my best friend, and we found Primerica when we were young, built a business together, raised kids together, and Mary's been the most amazing partner in Primerica, the toughest woman in America ever, and just went through so many of the different challenges and changes. And as much as you see Primerica on this amazing roller coaster to the top, it really wasn't like that when you opened the company from scratch. Everything was new and something was changing all the time, not always for the better. But I tell you what, Mary makes me better, and she is just a fabulous mother. We have 4 wonderful children, and because of her, they're wonderful as well, and the toughest, most amazing person. Absolutely, I love her to death. And let's hear from my wonderful wife, Mary Ney.
Good evening, everybody. Who's fired up around here? You guys fired up? Hey, I want to hear it. I want to hear it. Let's hear it. I want to hear you get fired up. Can't hear you. Can't hear you. Okay. Well, oh no, what did I start? Awesome. First of all, thank you so much, Judd and Aaron and Jimmy and Bailey and Braden. You're so dang cute. Oh my gosh, you guys are going to get to see him up here in a little bit. But Rusty asked that I share just a few minutes, so I'm going to really go fast, okay? But it is an honor for me to be up here with you. There are so many other partners that could be sharing this time, but Rusty asked me, and I couldn't say no. So I'm going to give you all I got in a few short time, okay? So I really, truly am more excited than I've ever been. And Jim and I are going to be married 35 years this October. And on the day of that 35th anniversary, my husband's going to be walking our baby daughter down the aisle to her new husband. And what a way to celebrate your 35th anniversary. It is all such a God thing, and we are just so blessed. Like Jim said, we have 4 wonderful kids. We have 2, almost 3 in-laws, and we have 1 grandbaby and another one on the way. And oh my gosh, when I get to heaven, I'm going to ask, why couldn't you figure it out so we had grandbabies first? Oh my gosh, they are so fun. It's so fun. Oh my gosh. If you would like, I will send you pictures of our grandbabies. So you just have to send me your cell number. 913 is mine, 2690453, and I'll send you pictures, okay? All the time. It's so fun. Oh my gosh. Anyway, I was a critical care nurse, and Jim was in advertising sales when we first saw this business. Rusty, our upline, did not tell us this, but Rusty came and did a meeting for us in Wichita, and there was like 4 people there, and Rusty needed a place to stay, so it was our house. And little did I know that we would meet a man that was just absolutely incredible and changed our life. After that meeting, this meeting, we saw the opportunity meeting in one of those 16 millimeter deals. Those millennials don't even know what that is, right? But it didn't matter. It didn't matter because we met Rusty and we fell for everything he said. He looked at us and he poured belief in us. And that night, Jim and he got out Jim's Ovation guitar, and Rusty played Jim's Ovation and played John Denver songs, and that was all it took. You know, that sold the deal for us. But, you know, we got going. We stumbled forward. Jim went full-time in 6 months, and in 2 years we were at 6 figures, and we never looked back. In fact, we never looked back. I can honestly say in our lifetime, in our business life, quitting was not ever an option or anything we never thought about. That just never happened with us. But I believe the next 35 years that Jim and I have on this planet, and thanks a lot, Jim, for telling the world how old we are. Thank you very much. I love you so much. That's awesome. You're the best husband ever. You know, oh my gosh. But anyway, I really believe the next 35 years are going to be our absolute best. It's even going to be greater and more explosive and more fun. We are so appreciative to Rusty and to his entire family for all that they've done for us over the years. Rusty taught us how to dream. And he didn't just teach us how to dream, he showed us. He gave us so many different experiences. He was the master at recognition and making people feel special. He learned from his best friend, Art Williams. When we found the business, we were so attracted to it because our founders, Art and Angela, they didn't just talk about it, they lived God first, family second, and business third. And this is for his honor and glory. It's nothing about us. And isn't it awesome? We can be in a company when we can talk about that. America needs us bad. We can talk about that, and we can live it, and we can show our Lord what this is all about. We fell in love with the people we met, and all we knew was we wanted what they have. Everything we have, everything we've become, everything we're growing to become is because of the impact of the leaders in our life. And Rusty and Art and Angela, John and Rick, and now Glenn and Karen. We are the products. We are the perfect poster children for the products of the PRI system. Our first meeting, it was Jim and I, and a few short years later, it seems like a short years, I think there's over 1,200 of our super hierarchy here. We have, at the convention, we have so many incredible, strong, independent leaders that have strong, united families that are changing the world. And I apologize to all of you. I cannot say your names. I know I will leave someone out, and I don't want to hurt anyone's feelings. Our why is our family and our teammates, and we can't stop this business until all our teammates are financially independent. We're not perfect. Jim and I are not perfect. In fact, I screw up every day, but our intention's perfect. I just want to leave you with a few short things. I encourage you, especially for those of you that are new and haven't heard this yet and maybe weren't at the partnership workshop today, to communicate daily, communicate openly and honestly. And sometimes that communication involves discussions with a purpose. You know, sometimes you kind of have to, like beat it out, right? That's okay. That's all right. Just work on it. Just make a commitment to work on it. Decide what your role is going to be. It's going to change. My role has changed over the years. It changes about daily sometimes. Doesn't matter. Like I've said before, it doesn't matter who's going to change the baby's diaper as long as the work gets done, right? Doesn't matter. Whatever you want to do. Become your partner's biggest cheerleader. Even when it's not easy. Even when it's not going well. Commit to a personal development plan. I really encourage all of you, and I know many of you have this book, but this is one of my favorites. It's Love and Respect by Emerson Emmerich. You say his name? Emerson. Just Google Love and Respect. And the tagline is, the love she desires and the respect he desperately needs. It took me a while in our early years to understand that about Jim. But all he really needs from me, ever, is to respect him. And that book helped me with that. I encourage you to find a mentor. Don't leave here and not having someone, especially, communicate with your upline about that. Your upline could be your mentor, should be, but if, there's other people you can reach out to. Jim and I have reached out to hundreds of top leaders over the years. Don't be afraid to do that. If you're afraid to do that, that's your ego, and that will keep you broke. We've helped so many people. All of us in Primerica have helped a lot of people. It doesn't matter what team you're in, right? Like Shane always has said over the years, pray and get clarity. Dream big. Marchesani's talked about, get that bottle of champagne, get your note paper out or your iPad out or whatever, pour that bottle of champagne and start writing down your goals. And when the champagne is done, those goals get really, really, really big. So I encourage you to do that, okay? We've had several champagne bottles over the years, right? I'm kidding. No, they're not. I really am passionate about building strong families, and they don't just happen. It takes intention. And thankfully, we had leaders that helped us with that. It takes a lot of unconditional love. It takes a ton of forgiveness. It takes the ability to learn to say, I'm sorry. And it takes a lot of looking each other with one eye open. God bless you guys. We love you. Thank you for your attention. Let's get this thing rocking.